good morning, dear children. I hope you all are fine and safe with your family. Students, today in geography, we will be learning lesson number 5 and name of the lesson is winds. Students, when you sit at home and when you are looking outside the window, which objects you see that are moving on their own and which objects you see that are not moving on their own. So which are the objects, students, which move on their own? We can see buses, we can see cars, we can see birds flying, we can also see clouds. Okay, students? And which are the objects which are not at all moving on their own? The objects which are not moving on their own are the car which is parked, students. We can also see building. Okay, students? So those things don't move. Okay, now. So why does it happen? It happened because of wind. Okay, so what is wind? The movement of air is called as wind. We feel the wind but cannot see it. Okay, can we see wind? No, we cannot see wind, but we can feel the wind. So what is wind? It is nothing but it is the movement of air which is called as wind. Generation of wind. We have learned that air pressure is not uniform across the earth's surface. Students, the previous lesson of air pressure which we have learned, in that only it was been clear that air pressure is not uniform. Uniform means what, students? Same. Okay. So we have already learned that air pressure is not uniform across the earth's surface. And air moves from high pressure areas towards low pressure areas in horizontal manner. Okay, so how it moves? It moves from high pressure areas to low pressure areas in horizontal manner. And winds are generated due to this movement. Okay, so how it has been generated? Winds are generated because air moves from high pressure areas towards the low pressure areas in horizontal manner. Winds are generated due to this movement. Velocity of wind. The extent of difference in the air pressure affects the velocity of the wind. Okay, students, so the extent of difference which is there in the air pressure, it affects the velocity of the wind. If there is less difference in the pressure, winds blow with less velocity. Okay, so if there is less difference in pressure, so what about the winds? Winds also blows with less velocity. Winds blow with greater velocities if the pressure difference is greater. Okay, students? So now what happened? If there is less difference in the pressure, winds blow with less velocity. Winds blow with greater velocities if the pressure difference is greater. Wind velocity is measured in the units of knots or kilometers per hour. Okay, students, so how is it been measured? How wind velocity has been measured? It has been measured in the units of knots or kilometers per hour. Okay, students, so I hope this much must be at least clear with everyone. Next, students, is rotation of the earth and direction of winds. Okay, students, so what it is? The direction of winds is influenced by rotation of the earth. So what it means? The direction of winds, it's been influenced by rotation of the earth. Winds get deflected. Deflected means what, students? To change its direction. Okay. So wind get deflected towards the right of their original direction in the northern hemisphere and towards the left of their original direction in the southern hemisphere. Okay, so what it means? Wind change its direction towards the right, okay, of the original direction in northern hemisphere. As students, we know we are having, there is two hemisphere, northern and southern. Okay, so wind changes direction towards the right of the original direction in northern hemisphere and it changed to left of the original direction in the southern hemisphere. The rotation of the earth from west to east causes this change in the original direction of the winds. Okay, so what it means? It means rotation of the earth from west to east causes this changes. Okay, because earth moves, it rotates from west to east, it causes this change in the original direction of the winds. Here you can see, students, the diagram which is figure 5.2, change in direction of winds. You can see the red color or arrow is the original direction of air, which is from high pressure to low pressure. And the blue color arrow, students, if you can see, that is the change direction. And why it is changed? Because of rotation. Now the topic which we will be learning, student, is called as types of winds. Okay, winds also has its types. On the basis of the direction of blowing, the duration, the regions covered and the condition of air, winds are classified into following three types. Okay, students, so on the basis of the first one is direction of blowing, second is its duration, third one is the regions which they covered, and the fourth one, the condition of the air, winds have been classified into three types. Which are those three types? The first is planetary winds, second one is local winds, and the third one is seasonal winds. Okay, students, so what are these? Today's video, students, we will be learning about planetary winds. Mostly, winds are known by the direction from which they blow or by region in which they blow. Okay, so mostly what happens, students? Winds are known by the direction from which they blow or by region in which they blow. The first which we will be types of wind which we will be learning today is planetary winds. So what are these? Some winds blow regularly on the earth from high to low pressure belts throughout the year. Okay, students, so some winds are there, they blow regularly on the earth. From where? From high to low pressure belts throughout the year. These winds, okay, so these winds cover large portion of the earth, hence they are called as planetary winds. Why these winds are called as planetary winds, students? Because they cover a large portion of the earth. Because they cover a large portion of the earth, they are called as planetary winds. Okay, for example, the Easterlies, the Westerlies and the polar winds. Okay, students, why these winds are called as planetary winds? Because it covers large portion of the earth, hence they are called as planetary winds. Examples are Easterlies, Westerlies and polar winds. Now one by one we will be learning Easterlies, Westerlies and polar winds in detail. Now first we will be learning, students, what is Easterlies. In both the hemispheres, the winds blow from high pressure area between 25 degree and 35 degree parallels to the equatorial low pressure belt. Okay, students, so in both the hemisphere, that is in northern hemisphere also and in southern hemisphere also, winds are blowing from high pressure area between 25 degree and 35 degree parallels, okay, to equatorial low pressure belt. Due to rotation of the earth, the original direction changes. Okay, so because of rotation of the earth, what happens? The original direction changes. In northern hemisphere, they blow from northeast to southwest, whereas in southern hemisphere, they blow from southeast to northwest. Okay, so in northern hemisphere, from where they blow from northeast, and to southwest they blow, and in southern hemisphere they are blowing from southeast to northwest. These winds coming from both the sides converge near the equatorial calm belt. Okay, converge means what, students? It meets. Okay, so when these winds coming from both the side, they meet near the equatorial calm belt. So these kinds of winds are called as easterlies. Okay, students, so what are these kinds of winds called as? These kinds of winds are called as easterlies. Okay, moving to our next one. Students, here you can see the same diagram. Students, you can see figure number 5.3, planetary winds and pressure belts. Okay, students, so here you can see due to the rotation in both the hemisphere, the winds blow from high pressure area, that is between 25 degree to 35 degree. And from where to where they move? In northern hemisphere they blow from northeast to southwest, whether in southern hemisphere they are blowing from southeast to northwest. So these winds coming from both the side, they meet near the equatorial calm belt, hence they are called as easterlies. Okay students, so I hope this must be clear with everyone. Moving to our next one. Now what is westerlies? In both the hemisphere, winds blow from mid-latitudinal high pressure belt to subpolar low pressure belt situated near 60 degree parallel. Okay students, so both the hemisphere, northern and southern hemisphere, winds are blowing from mid-latitudinal high pressure belt. They are moving to subpolar low pressure belt, which is situated near 60 degree parallel. So their original direction changes due to the rotation of the earth. So why original direction changes? It changes due to rotation of the earth. In the southern hemisphere, these winds blow from northwest to southeast, and in the northern hemisphere they blow from southwest to northeast. Okay, so in the southern hemisphere, from where they move? They blow from northwest to southeast, and in the northern hemisphere they blow from southwest to northeast. Hence these winds are called as westerlies. So here you can see the diagram students. Okay, here you can see in both the hemisphere winds are blowing from mid-latitudinal high pressure belt to subpolar low pressure belt, which is situated near 60 degree parallel. You can see same figure students, figure number 5.3. The original direction changes due to the rotation of the earth. In southern hemisphere, these winds blow from northwest to southeast, and in northern hemisphere they blow from southwest to northeast. So these winds are called as westerlies. I hope students, easterlies and westerlies must be cleared with everyone. Moving to our third one, polar winds. What are polar winds? In both the hemisphere, winds blowing from polar high pressure belt to subpolar low pressure belt, that is 55 degree to 65 degree, are called as polar winds. So what are polar winds students? In both the hemisphere, winds blowing from polar high pressure belt to subpolar high pressure belt, that is 55 degree to 65 degree, are called as polar winds. And from where they blow? Generally they blow from east to west. You can see here students. Okay students, winds blowing from polar high pressure belt to subpolar low pressure belt, that is 55 degree to 65 degree, are called as polar winds, and they blow from east to west. Okay students, so this year we have completed with our planetary winds. Okay students, we did with our planetary winds, in which we had covered easterlies, westerlies and polar winds. So let's recap students what we have done in our today's video. We have learned in detail about wind. So what is wind students? Yes, can we see wind? No, we cannot see it, but yes, we can feel it. So what is wind? The movement of air is called as wind. Okay, we have also learned about generation of wind. After that we have learned about velocity of wind. Then we have learned rotation of the earth and direction of the wind, and at the last we have learned in detail about the types of winds. I hope students this much at least must be cleared with everyone. We have learned in detail about easterlies, westerlies as well as polar winds. Okay students, so I hope this much must be clear with everyone. If there is any doubt, I request you all to again go through the video and get the doubts clear. Thank you so much.
Good morning dear children. I hope you all are fine and safe with your family. Students, today in geography we will be doing our lesson number 5, and the name of the lesson is winds. In our previous video students, we have learned what is wind. We have also learned generation of wind, its velocity, rotation of the earth and direction of winds, and we have also learned about planetary winds. Today in this video, we will be learning about different kinds of winds, that is seasonal winds, and also we will be learning local winds. Winds in the southern hemisphere blow with great velocities. The southern hemisphere is mostly occupied by oceans. Okay students, so winds in the southern hemisphere, they blow with great velocity, and southern hemisphere are mostly occupied by oceans. In this hemisphere, the obstacle caused by the relief of land surface is almost absent. Okay, so this hemisphere, what is there? Obstacle which is caused by the relief of the land surface is mostly absent. As there is no obstacle, winds blow with greater velocities in the southern hemisphere as compared to the northern hemisphere. So because there is no obstacle, so wind blow with greater velocities in the southern hemisphere as compared to northern hemisphere. Their characteristics are as follows. So now we will be learning about their characteristics. Beyond 40 degrees south, winds blow with tremendous velocity. So beyond 40 degrees south, what happened? Winds blows with tremendous velocity. So these winds which blow beyond 40 degrees Celsius with tremendous velocity are called as roaring 40s. So what these are called as? The winds which blow beyond 40 degrees Celsius, they have been called as roaring 40s. Then around 50 degrees south, winds are stormy. So around 50 degrees south, how are the winds? Winds are stormy. So hence they are called as furious 50. So why they are called as furious 50? Because around 50 degrees Celsius, winds are stormy, so they are being called as furious 50s. The stormy winds around 60 degrees south make tremendous noise, and hence they are called screeching 60s. So the stormy winds around 60 degrees south, they make tremendous noise. Because they make tremendous noise, so they are called as screeching 60s. Okay students, so I hope you must have understood about roaring 40s, furious 50s and screeching 60s. Now first we will learn about students local wind. What are local winds? The winds that blow for a short duration of a time originate in specific region and blow over limited area are called as local winds. So what are local winds students? The winds which blow for only short duration and which originate in a specific region and blow over limited area are being called as local winds. These winds are known by different local names in different regions where they blow. So they have been called by different local names in different regions wherever they blow. The winds that blow from the valley towards the mountain during the day after sunrise are called as valley breezes. So what are valley breezes students? Those winds which blows from valley towards the mountain during the day, that is after sunrise, are called as valley breezes. Next, what are mountain breezes? The winds that blow from the mountain towards the valley at night, that is after sunset, are called as mountain breezes. The winds that blow from the sea to the land during the day are called as sea breeze. So the winds which blow from the sea to the land during the day are called as sea breeze. The winds that blow from the land to the sea at night are called as land breeze. Okay students, so I hope this all must be cleared with everyone. You must have come to know what are local winds, what are valley breezes, mountain breezes, sea breeze and land breeze. Now students, we will see major local winds in the world. Name of the wind is Lu, and what is the nature of Lu? It is hot and dry. And what are the characteristics and areas of influence? It blows in North Indian plains during the summer season, generally in the afternoons. They come from hot Thar desert. Simoom. What's the nature of this kind of a wind? These are very hot, dry and destructive. And these blow with tremendous velocities from the Sahara and Arabian deserts. As these winds are quite strong, they are destructive. Next is called as Chinook, which is snow eater. What kind of nature of the wind is? It is very warm and dry. These blow down the eastern slopes of Rocky Mountains of North America. They cause the snow to melt and increase the temperature in the valleys. Next kind of wind is Mistral. And what is the nature of this wind? It is very cold and dry. These blow in Spain, France and areas around the Mediterranean Sea. They originate from Alps. These cold winds reduce the temperature in the coastal areas. Next is Bora. What is the nature of this wind? It is cold and dry. And what is the characteristics? These blows from Alps mountain towards the coastal areas of Italy. Next is Pamparo. What is the nature of this wind? It is cold and dry, and these blow around the Pampas grassland in South America. And the last one is Fohn. Okay, what is the nature of this wind? It is hot and dry, and these blow around the northern slopes of the Alps. Now students, you can see here there is a figure that is 5.5a and figure 5.5b. One is students over here sea breeze and another one over here is land breeze. So students, one by one I'll just answer the question. The first question which is given over here, why do the breezes blow from the sea to the land during the day? The breeze blow from the sea to the land during the day because a high pressure belt is formed on the sea. When do the winds blow from the land to the sea? At night, the winds blow from the land to the sea. Describe the winds shown in figure 5.3a. So what is the name of the winds which has been given in 5.3a student? It is nothing but it is sea breeze. Compare figure 5.3a and 5.3b with reference to temperature conditions, air pressure and winds. In figure 5.3a, the temperature is higher on the land, pressure is low on the land, winds from sea to the land. In figure 5.3b, it is vice versa. Next, which winds are called sea breeze and which are called as land breeze and why? Winds in 5.3a are called as sea breeze because they blow from the sea, and 5.3b are called as land breeze because they blow from the land. In which part of India are land and sea breeze experienced? In India, it is experienced near the coastal areas. Now we will understand student in detail. Geographical explanation. The land is made up of dense matter. Land is stable and opaque. So how the land is? It is stable and it is opaque. Okay. As a result, heat is transferred at a greater speed and in higher proportion. Hence, land gets heated very quickly. Okay, so how land gets heated very quickly? Because land is made up of dense matter, it is stable and opaque. So, heat is transferred at a greater speed and in high proportion. So, land gets heated quickly. The density of water is comparatively less. Water is transparent and unstable. Hence, water does not get heated quickly. Why water does not get heated quickly, students? The density of water is comparatively less and water is transparent and unstable. So, water does not get heated quickly. As a result, the air pressure in land and water areas is different. So, students, the air pressure in land and water area is different. In the coastal areas, land gets heated during daytime. Hence, the air on the land also gets heated and air pressure on the land decreases. So, what about the coastal area, students? Land gets heated during daytime. Okay, because it is coastal area, so land gets heated during daytime. Hence, the air on the land also gets heated and the air pressure on the land decreases. The sea water gets heated slowly, hence the air is less heated and the air pressure remains high. At night, land cools down faster as compared to the sea and therefore has high pressure. Hence, the land breeze blow from the land towards the sea.
Now students, we will be learning about seasonal winds. What are these kinds of winds? Monsoon winds are generated due to the uneven heating of land and water in different seasons. So how it has been generated? Monsoon winds are being generated due to uneven heating of land and water in different seasons. Southeast Asia, East Africa, North Australia are the regions where the pronounced effects of these winds are felt. The influence of monsoon winds is seen in summer and winter seasons in the Indian subcontinent. Okay, so we see this kind of monsoon winds and seen in summer and winter season. We see its influence in the Indian subcontinent. Okay, in which seasons we see? In summer and winter seasons. Due to these winds, the Indian subcontinent experiences monsoon, that is rainy, and retreating monsoon seasons apart from summer and winter. So due to these kinds of wind, students, Indian subcontinent experiences monsoon, that is rainy, retreating monsoon season apart from summer and winter. Here students, you can see the diagram of seasonal winds. You can see seasonal winds. You can also see retreating monsoon. Okay students. Now, monsoon winds are in fact sea and land breezes blowing on a large scale. So what are monsoon winds? These are in fact sea and land breezes which are blown on a large scale. Most of the precipitation in the Indian subcontinent is the effect of monsoon winds. Okay students, so what is the effect of monsoon winds? Most of the precipitation in Indian subcontinent is the effect of monsoon wind. After crossing the equator, they blow from southwest towards the Indian subcontinent during the period from June to September. Okay students, so during the period from June to September, they blow from southwest towards the Indian subcontinent. Okay, so these winds are called as southwest monsoon winds. Okay, so why these winds are called as southwest monsoon winds? Because after crossing the equator, they blow from southwest towards the Indian subcontinent during the period from June month to September, and they are full of moisture. Okay, moving ahead, from September to December, because of low pressure area developing near the equator, winds blow from Indian subcontinent towards the equator. Okay students, so what happened from September to December? Due to low pressure area which develops near the equator, wind starts blowing from Indian subcontinent towards the equator. These winds are northeast monsoon winds. Okay, so what these winds are called as? These winds are called as northeast monsoon winds, and they are dry winds. Okay students, so I hope this much must be cleared with everyone. Okay, so we have learned about southwest monsoon winds, and we have also learned about northeast monsoon winds, which are also called as dry winds. Now students, we will be learning a last topic which is called as cyclones and anticyclones. First, we will be learning about cyclones, what it is. Cyclonic conditions are created when low pressure area is surrounded by high pressure areas. So when cyclonic conditions are created? When low pressure area is surrounded by high pressure areas. On the weather map, the center of cyclone is represented by the letter L. Due to the rotation of the earth, the cyclonic winds moves in the northern hemisphere moves in anti-clockwise direction, whereas it moves in clockwise direction in southern hemisphere. So due to rotation of the wind, cyclonic winds in northern hemisphere, they move in anti-clockwise direction. When they move in anti-clockwise direction in northern hemisphere, and it southern hemisphere, they move in clockwise direction. During a cyclone, the sky is cloudy, winds blow with very high velocity, and it rains heavily. A cyclone system moves from one place to another. Cyclones are also called as storms or cyclonic storms. Cyclones occurring in western part of Pacific Ocean along the coast of Japan, China, Philippines, etc. are called as typhoons. So cyclones which occurs in western part of Pacific Ocean, they are called as typhoons. The cyclones in the Caribbean Sea are called as hurricanes. Cyclones also originate in temperate zone, but they are not so powerful, hence are not destructive. Okay, so cyclones also originate in temperate zone because they are not so powerful, hence they are not at all destructive. Here students, you can see the image of 5.7 which is cyclone. Okay students, cyclonic conditions are created when low pressure area is surrounded by high pressure area, and you can see the center of a cyclone is represented by the letter L. Moving to our last one, which is called as anticyclones. Anticyclonic conditions are created when high pressure area is surrounded by low pressure area. In such a situation, winds blow from the center towards the surrounding areas in a circular manner. Okay students, in northern hemisphere, these winds blow in clockwise direction, whereas in southern hemisphere, they blow in anti-clockwise direction. During anticyclones, the skies are clear, winds blow with lesser velocity, and the weather is pleasant. Okay students, and on the weather map, the center of anticyclone is represented by the letter H. Anticyclone generally last for few days or a week. Such anticyclone originate in temperate zone. Anticyclones are vividly experienced in high pressure belts. Winds in these regions are always moving out, and hence the rainfall in this area is quite low. Here you can see the image of students 5.9, which you can see as anticyclone. It is been the center of anticyclone is represented by the letter H, and these are vividly experienced in high pressure belt. Okay, now here we have completed with the lesson. So let's recap students what we have learned in our today's video. We have learned about local winds. We have also done with seasonal winds, cyclones and anticyclones. I hope students it must be very clear with everyone. I request you all to again go through the video if any doubts are there. Thank you so much.